What's good, y'all, man? Welcome to Radiant Thoughts, a podcast dedicated to promoting positivity, personal growth, and the pursuit of a brighter mindset, man. So without further ado, let's tap into today's episode. Welcome back to Radiant Thoughts. It is your boy, KP, back with another episode for y'all, man. Today, what I want to focus on, what I want to discuss, what I want to know is, are you fully invested? Are we fully invested as a community? That's what we're going to dive into, man. So lock in with me. Like this, share it, comment, subscribe. Do all the good things, you know what I'm saying, as we dive into this topic. So, are we fully invested? And what I mean by that is, are we giving 100% in everything that we do? Are we fully locked in on everything that we say we are locked in on? Are we actually doing the things that we need to do to be fully locked in? So that's what I want to discuss today. We're going to unpack that and get into the nitty gritty here a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So what I feel and an investment is buying into something that you will believe that'll increase your value. So anything that will increase your value, that you feel like that will increase your value, anything that you're working on. It may be a business, it may be your personal development, it may be a job, it may be whatever. Are you 100% invested in? Now, with being fully invested comes the term of being like successful. And I feel like success is different for each individual. So my definition of success is reaching whatever your desired end goal is. Whatever you plan to reach, whatever your goal was at the end of whatever you're doing, is your success, whatever that may be. For some people, it may be to make $10 a day, and you made them $10, you're successful. Some people maybe make $100,000, and they make $100,000, they're successful, you know. So it varies from person to person, I believe. And so with making these investments in ourselves, we want to be successful in something. So if you aren't 100% invested, it's going to be hard for you to be fully successful in whatever said goal you have. So speaking of goals, I want to discuss the importance of clarity in our goals. So being 100% invested, you have to have a desired destination. You have to know where you want to go. There has to be a plotted out plan, of action to where you feel like you need to be. And so to have that clarity, it makes it easier to be fully invested in said action per se. It makes it easier to know when you're deviating from the plan. And so the clarity of those goals to you helps you plot out and strategize your next steps and what you need to be doing. And as you strategize your steps, you are pretty much aligning your actions with your goals. And so when they all become in unison, you can just flow right on to whatever your success is. But when you don't align those actions with what you want your goal to be, you stray away. You don't converge, you diverge. The things that you do on the daily that are aligned with your goals will get you better each and every day. My saying is, the habits you build today create the lifestyle you live tomorrow. And those habits, which essentially are the actions that you do every day, once they are aligned with the lifestyle or the goal that you want to reach, you will build that to that lifestyle. So that's the beginning of that. You got to have clear and a concise goals, as well as be aligned with your goals to be to even attempt to be fully invested. And on the other side of that, we need to be able to recognize our distractions. So, a distraction could be, like procrastination. We all go through spells of when we're not, giving 100%, but every single day you should want to give your all. Like I spoke about in the previous episode when I discussed the books that would help me for self-improvement. I talked about the 4 agreements, and one of the agreements of that book is to always do your best. So no matter what situations arise, what distractions arise, give 100% of effort that you can each and every day. So when you're procrastinating, you're technically not giving 100% of what you can because you're being lazy. You're allowing yourself to be set back as opposed to going forward and breaking that, procrastination and getting to where you want to go. You got to be able to neutralize those distractions to perform with the maximum effort. A lot of times people like to say that they can multitask, which some people do, but when you have certain goals that you are trying to reach, multitasking takes away from the full investment that you can make in each and every thing that you're doing. So for example, Elon Musk, everybody knows he's the owner of Tesla or CEO of Tesla, and was running Tesla like a gym. He has Tesla, SpaceX, and he had a few other things I forgot, but he went and bought Twitter, or X now, and his performance in Tesla slipped because he was so active on X. So I don't like to call it a distraction, but multitasking on another company as well as running 2-3 other companies that he has took away from him being able to perform, or that company being able to perform at its highest level, because the head guy wasn't 100% there. And now he turned over the CEO reins on X or Twitter to someone else, and now he's able to focus more on his other, his previous endeavors. So when multitasking, you have to be aware of your energy being taken away from different areas. You're going to be lacking in different areas. You won't be fully invested into that said goal that you are trying to reach. So when being fully invested, or when you're trying to be fully invested, one question you need to ask yourself is, how committed am I to this goal? Your personal commitment means almost everything when you're trying to be, or when you plan to be fully committed or fully invested on whatever endeavor that you are pursuing. That personal commitment pretty much depends on how successful you want to be. So going back to what success is, it's whatever, in my opinion, it's whatever your end goal is. So your personal commitment, you're going to give enough to whatever your end goal is. So therefore, your commitment weighs upon that. You have to do a honest outlook and overview on what your commitment levels is, what you feel like you are able to give. And if you feel like you aren't able to give enough, then you're not fully invested. You need to figure out what areas are draining you or taking away from some of your energy, and cut those things to be able to operate at your optimal levels. And that kind of rolls into like giving half-hearted efforts. But you have to be able to recognize when you're giving half-hearted efforts, because if you don't, then you will wonder why you're not getting the results that you feel like you should, but you're not. You're getting out what you're putting in. You're not putting in maximum, so you're not getting maximum results. If you're putting in minimal, you're going to get minimal results. And you have to be able to recognize that and correct that once you do notice it. A lot of times when we complain, well, I see a lot of people complain about why they are not where they should be, or they think they should be better, or they give a lot of excuses as to why other people are where they are and why they aren't there themselves. But that all boils down to, at the end of the day, in my opinion, is what you do on the daily basis. If you're on there complaining, the people that are in the spots that you want to be in, they're not on social media or anywhere complaining about anything. They're working on their craft. They're perfecting what they're trying to do. They are working, not complaining. They are figuring out ways to expand. They are fully invested in what they need to do. But you are over here, or majority of people are over here complaining, trying to figure out why they can't grow, and they're not focusing on the things they need to grow. They're focusing on a bunch of outside things, but what they need to focus within. Why am I not where I need to be? What do I need to do? Am I giving my all? And a lot of times we don't assess ourselves. We think if we have a certain business that everyone on the outside should be driving our business, but it's you. It's you that needs to drive your business. It's you that needs to go market better. It's you that needs to go push for more sales. It's you. Majority of the time, we aren't fully invested ourselves, and that's where we drop the ball instead of outside sources. Oftentimes, we are not fully invested because we don't have the extreme passion or the true passion for whatever it is that we're going after. And so being passionate about something, you will not let nothing stop you from reaching your goals. So if the passion lacks, then you're going to lack in certain areas. You won't be fully invested. You won't treat it like this is your baby. You're going to treat it like, I'll get back to that, or I'll try to do this later. And there's times where I felt I maybe was too busy or didn't have the time, and I noticed that I was just procrastinating, and I couldn't put that on nobody else but myself. I had to realize that it's all on me. If I want this, then I need to do 100% of what I need to do to get it to where it needs to be, to make sure I'm recording, to make sure I'm posting, to make sure that I'm reaching out to who I need to be reaching out to. So it's all up to you, all up to me to be fully invested, to keep my passion for this there, to my passion of talking to others and radiating my thoughts onto the community. Having passion allows you to maintain focus, and as long as you got that focus, nothing will kind of pretty much get in your way and derail you. Or when things do get in your way, you're able to, like I spoke on those, recognizing distractions. You'll be able to navigate while you're focused, like, oh, nope, it's not aligned with the business. Let it go. I'm doing this. That's not aligned with the business. Oh, I thought this was in line with the business. It's not anymore. I recognize that. I maneuvered. So being passionate about something, makes you it makes you treat it like it's your child. It makes you treat it like you raised this and it became something. Especially once you create something, it's really yours, and you hold on to it with a different type of love. And that's why a lot of times, in which this is something I hate, when people work jobs and they complain about the jobs they work. And I understand it. You're not the owner. You're just a worker. So you half-ass a lot of times and you give less effort, but you want them to pay you the most money that you're supposed to be getting, but you don't want to work for what they're supposed to pay you. And so I find that crazy. And a lot of people do that with whatever their goals are. They give half-ass efforts and expect amazing results on the back end, and it does not work like that, especially with entrepreneurship and stuff like that. Now when you're working jobs like 9-to-5 jobs and stuff, and you'll get, because you're a salaried or hourly worker, you'll get whatever that is on the back end. But at the same time, work a job, I feel like people should work a job like they will want somebody to take care of their job, or their company or something. Just saying, that's just a little sidebar, but you know what I'm saying. But it still applies. Sometimes we have to rediscover what our passions are, and sometimes, with that, I'm not exactly sure on how to rediscover passions, because a lot of times when I'm not as passionate with something, I just give it up altogether. So rediscovering, I feel like you have to find something that gives you that spark. It has to be like a moment, or you're in a certain situation that makes you remember something. Like I'm not exactly sure, but I'm pretty sure it has to be something that gives you a spark, makes you remember, like, oh, this is why I love this that much. This is why I used to do that. Let me get back to it, So that all depends. And I want to talk, balancing those priorities. You got your personal life, then you got your professional life. A lot of times when we're fully invested in something, that professional life becomes our personal life, and we don't know when to draw the line. So although I feel like we need to be, fully invested in whatever, our goals are, we also need to be fully invested in ourselves. We need to know when to draw the line. You have to have personal time. At least some. I know a lot of people grind hard and go for the gold, but there are times where you need a break. You need to rest. You need to recharge. You have to. So I feel like that is a personal measurement. A lot of times we don't know how much we can take, but you'll know when enough is enough. You'll know when you need to recharge and when you need to take that break and just relax and have time to, for yourself. So that is something that I feel each individual should assess, that comes through trials, and error. Sometimes we rest too early and think we've done enough, and sometimes we've done way too much and now we're burnt out. So you have to find that line for yourself. But it's definitely important to notice when one area is slipping. You have to be able to pick up on that. That's the only way that you will be able to recognize that you're burnt out, or you're doing too much, or you're doing too less. When you're having too much personal fun and your business is over here suffering, you need to find that medium. That's when you need to, all right, I need to get on my grind. I need to really lock in. And like the Elon Musk example earlier, I think he realized, okay, Tesla numbers is kind of dwindling. I need to lock in over here. I need to get it together. And so you have to make that personal assessment within yourself. Know when you're burnt out. Know when you're going too hard, giving too much, and know when you're giving too less. With that, there's this myth of being too busy to do certain things as well. So a lot of times we trick ourselves and we do a bunch of busy work, and I'm guilty of it for sure. We do a bunch of busy work and claim that we're busy when in actuality we didn't do anything. So we feel like we're working extra hard on the business. We're going, 100 miles an hour. We 100%, but we ain't really doing nothing for real. We just look like we doing something, or we just doing the bare minimum. That's why they call it busy work, just to keep you doing something, but you not really doing what you can be doing. You have to be doing actual meaningful activities for your business or for whatever said venture or goal there is that you are chasing. Although the busy work may be a part of what you need to do, at the end of the day, it's not really moving the needle. You need to do things that are going to move the needle. So, making, Instagram posts versus reaching out to potential clients. Those are two different types of busy. Yes, making an Instagram post are important. It's important to get your brand out there, but if you have potential clients that will give you more exposure, that will actually put dollars in your pocket potentially, that's what you need to go towards. And then that sale can get put on Instagram per se. So that's just an example, but that's definition or the difference between doing busy work as opposed to doing meaningful work for your brand. We are fully invested in our endeavors. We get rid of the ability to complain about why things are going your way. When you consistently are doing something, the right way, you should expect results. Consistent efforts, consistent motion, you're going to get something in return. It may not be instantly. And a lot of times we want instant microwave success and stuff. It may not be right then and there, but it's going to come. And so being fully invested, 100% working on whatever you need to work on, getting whatever you need to get done, and knowing that you're putting in every ounce, you're doing everything until there's nothing left. There's this analogy from Wall Street Trap. It's hunt, but it's hungry until nothing's there. So hungry until nothing's there, and that I'm gonna hunt. I'm gonna keep going until I can't go anymore. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna be persistent. I'm gonna be consistent. I'm gonna do the hours. I'm gonna do whatever it is I need to do to get there and get the results that I expect. Not that I just want, that I expect, because I put the work in over here. I put the work in, day out. So you're not gonna tell me that I can't get these results on the back end. So be fully invested in all your endeavors, in everything that you do, day in, day out. So with that being said, man, it's your boy KP. This has been another episode of Radiant Thoughts. I would like for y'all to comment, subscribe, leave a like, follow, share. Check out my Instagram page at Radiant Thoughts _ where we post our daily motivation and clips from the episodes, post our episodes, and much more. So if you like this, share it with a friend. Let them know to tap in, man. We radiating our thoughts across the globe. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get my thoughts out there to y'all. Trying to help y'all help me while helping y'all. You know what I'm saying? So appreciate y'all for tuning in. This will be on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. Go and run it up for me, man. It's your boy KP, and we out.